In the heart of Leningrad, a city with an ever-shifting identity, first St. Petersburg, then Leningrad, and eventually St. Petersburg again, I spent my childhood caught between eras, histories, and languages. When I was 11 years old, our family lived in the shadow of the city's grand facades, their stones steeped in stories of czars and revolutions. The city was more than just a home. It was a living testament to the currents of history, a place where the past pressed in on the present at every turn. It was during those formative years that our family welcomed a visitor who would change the trajectory of my life. He was a distant relative, an American with roots in our Jewish-Russian family tree, Ted Mann. Even his name seemed to bridge worlds, simple, direct, and distinctly American. He looked like my grandmother's cousin. He was related to us. Ted was not just any visitor. He was a luminary in his own right, the founder of The Circle and the Square, a theater school in New York City. He arrived in Leningrad as a kind of emissary from another realm, bringing with him the promise of possibility and the allure of the unknown. Ted had come to Russia to stage an American play in Moscow, working with Russian actors and creating a cultural exchange that felt audacious and exhilarating. I remember sitting in awe as he spoke about the production, his words painting vivid images of actors, lighting, and drama. Later, he would go on to stage Sweeney Todd, a play notorious for its dark humor and sharp edges. I often wonder what he would have thought of the more recent renditions. Would he have approved of their interpretations, their accents, their energy? In my memory, his own production was alive, pulsing with intensity, each scene carefully crafted to draw out the best from his actors. One afternoon, Ted took the time to show me how to imitate a spider attacking a human. His guidance was both playful and precise, his eyes twinkling with mischief as he demonstrated the movements. To me, he was an older man, perhaps a little younger than my grandfather, who carried himself with a sense of purpose that was both inspiring and comforting. He didn't just talk about theater. He embodied it, turning even the most mundane moment into a lesson in creativity. Our conversations were often about the future. Ted asked if I would like to study in the United States, planting a seed of possibility that grew quietly in the back of my mind. We kept in touch, calling from time to time to discuss our plans, dreams, and the shifting circumstances of our lives. When I was 16, our family made the journey across the ocean to America, a leap into the unfamiliar that was both terrifying and thrilling. Ted was supportive, encouraging me to pursue music in school. "It's a good idea," he said, his voice steady and reassuring. He spoke of his theater workshops at the Circle and the Square, describing a world where art and expression were valued above all else. He believed in the power of performance, not just as entertainment, but as a way to understand and connect with others. Ted's wife, Pat, was an opera singer of remarkable talent, having sung with none other than Placido Domingo. She moved through life with a quiet grace, her voice carrying the weight of 1,000 emotions. Pat and I shared a love for simple crafts, exchanging bead necklaces that became treasured tokens of our bond. Her hobbies revealed a side of her that was gentle and nurturing, a respite from the intensity of her performances. Sadly, her life was cut short by multiple sclerosis, and she passed away at 59. Ted, 15 years her senior, lived on for nearly 2 more decades, weathering the storms of loss and aging with the same resilience he brought to the stage. Pat's death left a void, but Ted's spirit endured. He was still alive during the tumultuous days of September 11th, a witness to yet another chapter of history unfolding. He died at 78, leaving behind a legacy woven into the fabric of theater and the lives of those he touched. Looking back, what I remember most about Ted was his love of acting. He approached each role, each performance, with the same curiosity and passion he brought to life itself. He saw theater not just as a profession, but as a calling, a way to explore the human condition and share it with others. Our family's story was not just about Ted. There were others too, David and Matthew, who visited us during those years of transition. Matthew, in particular, stands out in my memory. He was 10 years old, with a good voice and a budding interest in acting. He was the first native English speaker I had ever met, and our conversations were filled with the innocent topics that children gravitate towards: crayons, games, and the simple joys of discovery. My grandmother, a skilled English teacher, bridged the gap between generations and cultures, conversing with David and Theodore without the need for translation. It was a testament to the power of language to connect and unite, even across vast distances. Matthew and I found common ground in our shared experiences as children, navigating the complexities of family gatherings and new surroundings. After the long journey across the ocean, Matthew was tired and needed to rest, retreating to my grandmother's room for a nap. It was a small moment, but one that spoke to the comfort and familiarity of family, even in unfamiliar places. Through all these encounters, Ted's mentorship, Pat's artistry, Matthew's youthful enthusiasm, I learned that creativity and connection transcend borders. Our family's journey from Leningrad to America was not just a physical relocation, but a transformation of identity, shaped by the people who entered our lives and the stories we shared. In the end, what remains are the memories, the lessons learned, the bonds forged, and the enduring belief that art, in all its forms, can bridge even the widest divides. The legacy of those years lives on, not just in the achievements of Ted and Pat, but in the way they encouraged those around them to dream, to create, and to embrace the world with open hearts.